The airport security line snaked endlessly under the harsh fluorescent lights of JFK International. But for 18-year-old Riley Thompson, it felt like a noose tightening around her neck. She clutched her boarding pass, her heart pounding as the TSA agent scanned her ID, his eyes narrowing at her short-cropped hair, the subtle rainbow pin on her backpack, and the way she shifted uncomfortably in her oversized hoodie. "Step aside, miss," he barked, his voice laced with suspicion, pulling her out of line and into a side room where whispers of "doesn't match the gender norms" echoed in her mind like a verdict. Riley's world shattered in that sterile interrogation room. The agent grilled her about her appearance, questioning if she was really the girl on her passport, his tone dripping with thinly veiled prejudice. Tears welled up as she thought of her girlfriend, Mia, waiting on the other side of the country in San Francisco, where they planned to start fresh after high school graduation. But now, denied boarding for security concerns that reeked of homophobia, Riley sat alone, her phone buzzing with frantic texts from Mia. "Where are you?" "Flight's boarding." Back home in conservative suburban Connecticut, Riley's mother, Evelyn, had always been the pillar of unwavering support. Or so Riley believed. Evelyn, a high-ranking U.S. Customs and Border Protection inspector, had raised Riley single-handedly after her father's early death, instilling values of integrity and resilience. Yet, beneath the surface, Evelyn harbored her own secrets, a past tangled in societal expectations that she had buried deep. When Riley came out as lesbian 2 years ago, Evelyn's initial reaction was a forced smile, but the cracks showed in subtle ways. Skipped family dinners, pointed questions about phases, and an unspoken distance that grew like a chasm. As Riley dialed her mother's number from the airport holding area, her voice cracked. "Mom, they won't let me board. They think I don't know, a threat or something because of how I look." Evelyn's response was swift and professional. "Stay put. I'm on my way." Little did Riley know, this incident would unearth a family secret that would force her to question everything about love, loyalty, and the price of acceptance. Evelyn arrived at the airport in record time, her inspector badge flashing under her tailored suit. She marched into the security office, her face a mask of authority. "This is my daughter," she declared, her voice steady but her eyes betraying a flicker of guilt. The agents backed down immediately, apologizing profusely, but the damage was done. Riley boarded the plane, but the flight across the country felt like traversing a minefield of emotions. Why had her mother never mentioned her job could pull strings like that? And why did Evelyn's hug at the gate feel laced with unspoken apologies? In San Francisco, Mia greeted Riley at the baggage claim with open arms, her long dark hair cascading over her shoulders, her warm brown eyes lighting up despite the exhaustion etched on her face. Mia, 19, came from a progressive family in the Bay Area, where being openly gay was celebrated, not concealed. Their relationship had blossomed online during the pandemic, evolving from late-night chats to stolen weekends. But now, with Riley moving in for college, the real test began. "What happened back there?" Mia asked as they drove to their tiny apartment in the Castro district. Riley recounted the ordeal, her voice trembling. "It was humiliating. Like I didn't belong in my own skin." Mia squeezed her hand, but inside doubts crept in. Mia had always been the optimistic one, pushing Riley to embrace her identity fully. But this incident highlighted the stark differences in their upbringings. Mia's parents hosted pride brunches. Riley's mother attended church every Sunday, where sermons on traditional values were the norm. That night, as they unpacked Riley's boxes, a knock at the door startled them. It was Evelyn, unannounced, her suitcase in hand. "I took a leave. We need to talk." Riley's stomach dropped. Evelyn's presence in their safe haven felt like an invasion, but Mia welcomed her politely, sensing the undercurrents. Over dinner, Evelyn dropped the bomb. "I didn't just pull strings today. I've been monitoring you, Riley. For your safety." Riley's fork clattered to the plate. "Monitoring? What does that mean?" Evelyn sighed, her composed facade cracking. "Your online activity, your travels. As an inspector, I have access. I was worried about you getting into trouble with your choices." The word choices hung in the air like a slap. Mia interjected, her voice sharp. "Being gay isn't a choice, Mrs. Thompson." Evelyn's eyes hardened. "I know that. But in my world it comes with risks. I lost someone once because of it." The revelation hung heavy. Evelyn confessed that in her youth, she had loved a woman named Sarah, a colleague in the agency. But societal pressures and career threats forced her to end it, marrying Riley's father instead, a man she respected but never truly loved. Sarah had spiraled into depression, eventually leaving the country. I chose safety over happiness, Evelyn admitted, tears streaming. I don't want that for you. Riley felt betrayed. All those years of feeling unsupported weren't imagined. They were rooted in her mother's own unresolved pain. You spied on me, she whispered. Mia placed a protective arm around her, but the tension escalated. Evelyn pleaded. I did it out of love, to protect you from the world I know too well. As the night wore on, arguments flared. Riley accused Evelyn of hypocrisy. Mia defended their right to live openly, and Evelyn countered with stories of discrimination in her field. Lost promotions, whispered slurs. The conversation unearthed deep wounds. Riley's fear of rejection, Mia's frustration with hidden prejudices, and Evelyn's regret over a life half-lived. By dawn, exhaustion set in, but the seeds of conflict were sown. Riley lay awake beside Mia, wondering if her mother's protection was a cage in disguise. The next day, Riley and Mia attended a local pride event, seeking solace in the community. Vibrant flags waved, music pulsed, but Riley's mind wandered back to Evelyn's confession. Do you think she's right? That it's too dangerous? Riley asked Mia. Mia shook her head. No, but she's scared. We have to show her it's possible. Yet, as they held hands publicly, Riley noticed stares, not all friendly. A group of protesters nearby chanted against unnatural lifestyles, echoing the airport agent's suspicion. Back at the apartment, Evelyn waited with coffee, her demeanor softer. I want to understand, she said. They spent the afternoon talking, Evelyn sharing old photos of Sarah, her eyes misty. For the first time, Riley saw her mother not as an authority figure, but as a woman who had sacrificed her truth for survival. It was a fragile bridge, but one that hinted at healing. However, the peace was short-lived. Mia's phone rang, her job offer at a tech startup, contingent on a background check. They flagged something, Mia said, puzzled. Riley's heart sank. Had Evelyn's monitoring extended to Mia? The accusation flew, and Evelyn denied it vehemently. But doubt lingered, poisoning the air. As File 1 drew to a close, Riley faced her first major decision. Confront her mother fully or risk losing Mia's trust. The cost of family loyalty was already mounting, and the drama was just beginning. The accusation hung in the apartment like smoke from a fire that refused to die. Riley stared at her mother, her voice rising. Did you dig into Mia's background too? Is that why her job's in jeopardy? Evelyn's face paled, but she shook her head. Absolutely not. I only watched over you, Riley. Mia's clean. This must be a coincidence. Mia paced the room, her optimism cracking under pressure. Coincidence? Right after you admit to spying? This feels targeted. The tension escalated into a full-blown argument. Evelyn defended her actions as a mother's instinct, born from years in a job where threats were real. You don't know what I've seen, people targeted for who they are. I was trying to shield you. But Riley saw it differently. Control masked as care. Mia, usually the peacemaker, snapped. Shielding? Or suffocating? We're adults, Mrs. Thompson. We don't need Big Brother watching. As the sun set over the Golden Gate Bridge, visible from their window, Riley suggested a walk to clear heads. The three ventured out, the cool bay breeze doing little to ease the strain. At a nearby cafe, they sat in uneasy silence until Evelyn broke it. I regret not being honest sooner. Sarah's leaving destroyed me. I married your father to fit in, but it was a lie that cost everyone. Riley softened slightly, glimpsing her mother's vulnerability. Mia, however, remained wary, her trust eroded. Back home, Mia pulled Riley aside. I love you, but this is messing with my life. If your mom's involved, we need proof. Riley nodded, her heart torn. That night, she snuck into Evelyn's guest room, finding her mother's laptop unlocked. A rookie's mistake for an inspector. Scrolling through emails, Riley discovered folders labeled Riley Surveillance, filled with screenshots of her social media, chat logs with Mia, even location pings. But nothing on Mia. Relief washed over her, but the betrayal stung deeper. How long had this gone on? Confronting Evelyn the next morning, Riley held up the laptop. This ends now. Evelyn's eyes filled with shame. I started when you came out. I was terrified you'd face what I did. The confession led to hours of raw dialogue. Evelyn recounted her affair with Sarah in the 90s, when being out could end careers. We were discreet, but rumors spread. Sarah was demoted. I chose to hide. Riley listened, empathy battling anger. Mia joined, her stance softening as she saw Evelyn's pain. Yet, external pressures mounted. At college orientation, Riley faced whispers from classmates who had seen her airport story go viral on social media. Someone had leaked it. Freak, one muttered. Mia stood by her. But the incident amplified Riley's insecurities. Maybe mom's right. Maybe it's too hard. Mia urged resilience. That's what they want, to make us hide. Evelyn, seeking redemption, offered to help with Mia's job issue. Calling contacts, she learned it was a glitch, not sabotage. Mia got the offer, but the scare lingered. Grateful yet guarded, Mia thanked Evelyn, but boundaries were set. No more monitoring. As days passed, the trio navigated uneasy coexistence. Evelyn attended a PFLAG meeting with them, her first step toward acceptance. There, stories of parental rejection mirrored her fears, but also showed paths to reconciliation. Riley felt hope, but Mia confided privately. She's trying, but I worry she'll pull you back into the closet. The turning point came at a family dinner Mia's parents hosted. The contrast was stark. Mia's folks embraced Riley warmly, sharing stories of their own queer friends. Evelyn, uncomfortable, excused herself early. Later, she admitted jealousy. They make it look easy. I wish I could have given you that. Riley hugged her, but the emotional toll weighed heavy. Internally, Riley grappled with guilt. Loving Mia meant defying her mother's world, but honoring Evelyn required understanding her sacrifices. Mia faced her own dilemma. Stay and fight for their relationship, or walk away from the drama. A bombshell dropped when Evelyn received a work email. An internal investigation into her use of resources for personal surveillance. If this gets out, my career's over, she whispered. Riley's heart raced. Had her snooping triggered it? No, it was an anonymous tip. Suspicion fell on Mia, who denied it furiously. Why would I jeopardize us? The accusation fractured their fragile peace. Riley sided with Mia instinctively, but doubt crept in. Evelyn packed to leave, her voice broken. I came to help, but I've only caused pain. As she departed, Riley felt the weight of her choices. Had protecting her relationship meant betraying her mother? In the aftermath, Riley and Mia argued fiercely. You think I did it? Mia yelled. Riley backpedaled. No, but who else? Trust eroded, they slept apart for the first time. Riley lay awake, questioning if love could survive such shadows. The next day, Riley dove into her classes at UC Berkeley, seeking distraction. But a classmate approached. Hey, I saw your story online. That sucks. Support came, but so did trolls. Mia, at her new job, faced similar scrutiny. Their relationship strained under the spotlight. Evelyn called from Connecticut. The investigations dropped false alarm. But it made me realize I need therapy. Riley breathed relief, but the damage lingered. Mia suggested space. Maybe we rushed this. Riley panicked. Don't leave me. The space Mia suggested turned into a chasm. For a week, they tiptoed around each other in the apartment. Conversations clipped, touches absent. Riley buried herself in coursework, but her mind replayed the accusations. I didn't tip off her work, Mia insisted one evening, her eyes pleading. Riley wanted to believe her, but the seed of doubt, planted by years of familial caution, had taken root. Evelyn's therapy sessions back east provided updates via calls. I'm unpacking a lot, she shared. Sarah reached out after all these years. She's happy now, married to a woman in Canada. The news stirred mixed emotions in Riley. Hope for her mother, envy for Sarah's freedom. But it also highlighted Evelyn's lost chances, making Riley question if she was doomed to repeat them. At a campus LGBTQ+ support group, Riley opened up anonymously. My mom's coming around, but it's costing my relationship. Others shared similar tales. Parents who supported conditionally, partners worn down by family drama. One story hit home. A girl whose girlfriend left after endless interference. Sometimes you have to choose, the facilitator said. Riley left unsettled, the words echoing. Mia, meanwhile, thrived at work but confided in friends about the strain. One night, over wine with a colleague, she vented. Riley's mom is a helicopter parent on steroids. The colleague, sympathetic, suggested, maybe set firmer boundaries or reconsider. Mia brushed it off, but the idea lingered. The breaking point came during a weekend trip to Big Sur, meant to reconnect. Scenic drives and ocean views couldn't mask the tension. At a cliffside overlook, Mia confronted. Do you trust me? Riley hesitated a beat too long. I want to. Tears flowed as Mia admitted. I contacted Evelyn's agency. Not to report her but to ask about privacy laws. I was scared she'd never stop watching us. Riley reeled. You went behind my back? Mia defended. To protect us. Like she claims to do. The irony burned. They argued until sunset, voices carrying over the waves. Riley felt doubly betrayed by her mother's actions and Mia's secrecy. We're becoming what we hate, she whispered. Driving back, silence reigned. At home, Riley called Evelyn, confessing everything. Mia's the one who called your work. Evelyn sighed. I figured. But it was a wake-up call I needed. No anger, just resignation. Forgive her, Riley. Love requires risks. But forgiveness didn't come easy. Mia moved to a friend's couch temporarily, giving space. Alone, Riley spiraled into self-doubt. Was her identity worth the wreckage? Social media amplified it. Supportive messages mixed with hate, labeling her drama queen. She deactivated accounts, isolating further. Evelyn flew back, uninvited but needed. Let's talk without accusations, she proposed. Over coffee, she shared letters from Sarah, detailing their past love and the pain of parting. I chose wrong. Don't let fear win, Riley cried. But it's tearing us apart. Evelyn hugged her. Then fight for it. Inspired, Riley reached out to Mia. They met at their favorite park bench, Golden Gate in view. I understand why you did it, Riley said. But secrets hurt. Mia nodded. I was desperate. I love you too much to lose you to this. They reconciled tentatively, sealing it with a kiss, but wounds scarred. Society's pressures didn't relent. At a family gathering Mia's side hosted, Evelyn attended awkwardly. Mia's aunt, outspoken, grilled her. How could you spy on your own kid? Evelyn owned it. Fear. But I'm changing. The evening ended positively, but Riley sensed undercurrents. Internally, each paid a price. Riley's grades slipped from stress. Mia worked overtime to prove herself. Evelyn faced colleagues' whispers about her personal issues. The mending was slow, laced with therapy sessions for all. A new conflict arose when Riley's extended family learned of the drama. Her conservative aunt called. This lifestyle is destroying your mother. Riley defended fiercely. It's who I am. The call ended in tears, family ties strained. Mia suggested couples counseling. We need tools to handle this. Sessions revealed patterns. Riley's people-pleasing from Evelyn's expectations, Mia's independence clashing with it. Progress came, but not without pain, admitting fears of abandonment. As bonds strengthened, a betrayal loomed. Evelyn, in therapy, reconnected with Sarah online. Innocent at first, it stirred old feelings. One evening, she confessed to Riley, I'm questioning everything. Riley supported. You deserve happiness. But when Sarah visited, complications arose. Sarah, elegant and poised, met the group. Mia felt threatened, sensing Evelyn's unresolved love. Is she here to take your mom away? She joked half seriously. Riley laughed it off, but tension brewed. During a dinner, Sarah shared stories, Evelyn glowing. Mia excused herself, jealousy flaring. Later, she confronted Riley. Your mom's living vicariously through us, but now she's got her own chance. Riley snapped. Let her have it. The argument escalated, old doubts resurfacing. Evelyn noticed, pulling back from Sarah. I won't hurt you again, she told Riley. But the visit highlighted everyone's vulnerabilities. The confrontation with Sarah's visit lingered like a shadow over their lives. Evelyn decided to pursue a friendship with her old flame, but from afar, Sarah returned to Canada, leaving Evelyn to grapple with what-ifs. It's too late for us, Evelyn told Riley. But not for you. Riley appreciated the sentiment, but it underscored the generational divide. Her mother's sacrifices versus her own fight for authenticity. Mia and Riley's counseling paid off slowly. They established rules, no secrets, open communication. But societal backlash hit harder. A local news outlet picked up Riley's airport story, framing it as LGBTQ+ discrimination or security necessity. Comments flooded. Support from allies, vitriol from detractors. Riley's professor pulled her aside. "If you need extensions, let me know." Grateful, but the pity stung. Evelyn, back at work, faced a demotion review. Personal use of resources, the memo read. She fought it, but the stress aged her. Calling Riley. "This is the price of my mistakes," Riley urged. "Retire if you have to. Live for yourself." Evelyn considered it, a radical shift from her duty-bound life. Mia's career soared, but whispers about her controversial girlfriend affected networking. At a company event, a coworker sneered. "Heard about your drama. Must be distracting." Mia defended. "It's my life." But inside, resentment built toward Evelyn's initial intrusion. The powder keg ignited at Thanksgiving. Mia's family invited everyone, including Evelyn. Tensions simmered as politics arose, debates on LGBTQ+ rights. Evelyn, evolving, supported progressive views, surprising Mia's relatives. But when Mia's uncle joked about those inspectors overstepping, Evelyn bristled. "I've overstepped, yes. But for love." Mia exploded privately later. "She's turning our holiday into her redemption arc." Riley mediated. "Give her credit." But Mia's patience thinned. "I'm tired of being collateral in your family therapy." The next day, Mia proposed a break. Not breakup, just time to breathe. Riley panicked. "Is this because of Mom?" Mia admitted. "Partly. But also, I need to know if I can handle this long-term." Heartbroken, Riley agreed, moving to a dorm temporarily. Alone, Riley confronted Evelyn via video. "Your past is costing me my future." Evelyn broke down. "I'm sorry. I'll step back completely." But Riley needed more. Understanding the depth of damage. In dorm life, Riley found camaraderie with queer peers, sharing stories. One friend advised, "Family can change, but don't sacrifice your happiness." Inspired, Riley journaled her feelings, uncovering resentment toward societal norms that forced hiding. Mia, staying with friends, reflected too. She missed Riley fiercely, realizing the break was a test. Attending a solo pride event, she saw couples thriving despite odds, reigniting hope. Evelyn, meanwhile, resigned from her job. "Time for a new chapter," she announced. Relocating to California part-time, she volunteered at LGBTQ+ centers, atoning through action. Reunion came unexpectedly. At a campus rally against discrimination, Riley spoke publicly about her airport ordeal. Mia attended, moved by her courage. Afterward, they talked for hours. "I don't want space, I want us," Mia said. They reconciled, stronger, with boundaries firm. But joy was short-lived. Evelyn's resignation triggered a family backlash. Riley's relatives disowned her, calling her enabler of sin. Letters arrived. "You've shamed us." Riley burned them, but the rejection hurt. Internally, Mia struggled with guilt over her role in the investigation tip, revealed as her anonymous call for advice that escalated. Confessing fully to Riley, "I didn't mean for it to go this far." Riley forgave. "We all made mistakes." As bonds mended, a moral quandary arose. Evelyn started dating a woman from the center openly. Riley supported, but Mia worried. What if it brings more scrutiny? The question tested their progress. At a group therapy session, truths emerged. Evelyn admitted, "I projected my fears onto you, Riley, and I let it define me." Mia, "I reacted out of protection but hurt us all." Healing progressed, but costs accumulated. Lost family, career shifts, emotional scars. Riley's activism grew, channeling pain into advocacy. A final twist. Sarah returned, offering Evelyn closure. "We were right for then, not now," Sarah said. Evelyn released the past, fully embracing her identity. As relationships stabilized, Riley proposed to Mia during a quiet sunset walk. "Through it all, you're my choice." Mia accepted, tears of joy. Yet shadows remained. Societal acceptance was partial. Daily microaggressions persisted. Evelyn's new life brought fulfillment, but at the expense of old ties. The proposal marked a turning point, but reality intruded swiftly. Planning a small wedding amplified conflicts. Mia's family buzzed with excitement, offering venues and caterers. Evelyn contributed modestly, her new volunteer income limited. But Riley's extended family boycotted, sending scathing emails. This abomination won't be blessed. The venom fueled Riley's determination. We'll do it our way, she told Mia. They chose a simple ceremony in the Castro, surrounded by friends and allies. Evelyn walked Riley down the aisle, her pride evident despite tears. During vows, Mia spoke. You've taught me resilience amid chaos, Riley replied. And you've shown me love's worth the fight. Evelyn watched, her heart full, reflecting on her own denied dreams. Post-wedding, honeymoon in Hawaii brought bliss, but returning home revealed cracks. Media revisited Riley's story, now with a happy ending spin. Interviews requested, but they declined, wary of exploitation. Evelyn's girlfriend, Lisa, integrated smoothly, providing a model of late-blooming love. You inspire me, Lisa told Riley and Mia. Yet, Evelyn faced health issues, stress-induced hypertension. The years of hiding took a toll, her doctor said. Riley felt responsible, but Evelyn reassured. My choices, not yours. Mia advanced at work, but a promotion required relocation to Seattle. It's temporary, she said. Riley hesitated. What about us? The decision tested their bond. Mia chose to stay, sacrificing the opportunity. You're my priority. The cost. Stalled career, resentment bubbling. Internally, Riley questioned if marriage changed anything. Doubts arose during arguments. Are we rushing past the pain? Therapy continued, uncovering layers. A major confrontation erupted when Riley's aunt visited unexpectedly. I've come to save you, she declared, Bible in hand. Evelyn intervened. Leave or I'll call authorities. The aunt spewed hate. You're all lost. Riley stood firm. This is my family now. The incident awakened Riley fully. I won't hide anymore. She started a blog, sharing their story anonymously at first, then openly. Support poured in, but so did threats. Mia worried. Is the exposure worth it? Riley insisted. Silence costs more. Evelyn's health scare. A minor heart episode brought them closer. Hospital bedside confessions flowed. I'm proud of you, Evelyn whispered. Don't regret like I did. Recovery bonded them. Lisa proposed to Evelyn, who accepted joyfully. Double celebrations ensued, but societal pushback persisted. Petitions against gay agendas in their community. Mia's sacrifice gnawed at her. I love you, but I resent giving up that job, Riley offered. Go if you need to. We'll make it work. Mia declined. No, but let's plan better. They compromised on long distance, temporarily strengthening trust. As awakenings culminated, each paid final prices. Evelyn her health and career, Riley her innocence, Mia her ambitions. But gains outweighed authentic lives, deeper connections. In the end, they gathered for Evelyn's wedding, a symbol of triumph. Toasts raised to choices, however flawed. Yet, the story closes with a lingering question. In a world of prejudices, is full authenticity a right worth every sacrifice, or a luxury few can afford without breaking?